In Brazil tonight, 2 people on board a hijacked jetliner are dead, and the hijacker is right now holding about 100 others hostage. The Brazilian jetliner was on its daily flight from the Amazon jungle to Rio de Janeiro when a gunman forced his way into the cockpit. Bad weather forced the plane to land, and it's now surrounded by state and federal police. The latest reports are that the gunman has killed the co-pilot and 1 passenger. No word yet on who the man is or why he hijacked the plane. The Seoul Olympics are being marred by protest. About 1,000 students rioted outside Korea University today, throwing firebombs at police and demanding the release of a student leader who was arrested last week. The students promised to continue rioting until the Olympics end on Sunday. Also, the controversial movie The Last Temptation of Christ is now causing international riots. Here in Paris, people against the movie about the life of Christ threw tear gas and attacked the man in the projector room. They're demanding that the movie not be shown. It is scheduled to premiere in Dayton tomorrow.
From controversy to
weather, which isn't controversial, just gloomy.
No, not at all. Yeah,
a little cloudy, but we had 4 good days before that.
We certainly did, and today
I'm
certainly
optimistic.
wasn't like that.
Isn't that strange for
Yes,
change?
it is. No, you should be optimistic. The problem is that we thought that it would be just a couple of days of this clearing. I mean, of the gloomy weather, but it looks like it's going to be around a little longer than that. But maybe not as much rain. That's the good news right now. Let's go outside. We'll take a look. Look at this building. Tommy Stewart was down having lunch today, and he got this shot. This is the old transportation building at 4th and Sycamore. They're taking it down. They're going to put up the new Western Southern Light building. It's going to be called the Queen City Square. 1 million feet of office space and 2 big skyscraper towers. And some of the plans are still on the drawing board, so if you got an idea, send it to them. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. All right, here's what's going on right now. We're down to 73 degrees. It's warmer than this during the day today. Our humidity at 69%. Winds from the west at 9. Barometer steady, 30.12. It'll be falling soon. Our river level, 26.8 feet, and it's steady. News 5 weather watchers all over the tri-state. Everybody's got the clouds, and we've got decent temperatures, though. Laurel, Indiana first at 71 degrees. West Harrison's got 74. Delhi at 71. Right now in Edgewood, 75, and Decatur, 74. I was going to make a crack about the airport. I better not. Here's the satellite cover, your satellite picture. Cloud cover all over the tri-state. Heavier clouds down to the south, a little break in the action, and then more cloud cover out towards the west. Here's what's causing all of our problems right now. It is hot and humid, and a couple little isolated scattered showers in the area. There's one earlier around Madison, Indiana. But farther down to the south, more humidity and more clouds and more rain. Nothing really to trigger this, but I think tonight there'll be some light scattered showers. They're more likely tomorrow and Saturday as this approaching cold front moves up, but not a lot of rain in any of this right now. Here's the forecast then for this evening. Cloudy with showers, light showers, just scattered, an 11 p.m. temperature at 68. Now, for overnight, more of the same thing with a low down to 60. Tomorrow morning, it'll just be plain cloudy with light chance of a shower here and there. I'm going to talk about the fact that it looks like it'll be till Sunday before we get the clearing. So not a real optimistic forecast, but once we do get the clearing, looks like some cooler weather coming up, and that's good news.
Fall-type sweater weather?
Yep, and we play 2 more All-Star games, Coors All-Stars. I'll give you the address and the map and all the information in half an hour or 2.
And your box scores and all that stuff?
We won't get into
okay.
that. Averages. No.
Buy me a Coke and a hot dog, too?
Yeah.
Thanks, okay. Coming up, Mike Tyson bears a soul that is troubled indeed. And Ken Brew has a timely look at a sport that seems more like underwater art.
In People News tonight, heavyweight champ Mike Tyson is talking about his life, which lately has been filled with some controversy. Tyson says he will not take any drugs to help him out of his manic depression, and he admits that at times he does push around his wife, actress Robin Givens. Tyson talked about these confessions during a recently taped TV interview. Cincinnati Reds have a new executive vice president tonight. He's Stephen Schott, nephew of Reds owner Marge Schott. Schott comes to the Reds after a successful business career, including a position on Wall Street. The new executive VP says he's happy to be back home as part of the Reds organization. And finally, Mary Boland lives in the neighborhood of Pleasant Ridge, but the neighborhood she tries to improve stretches all the way around the globe. Boland is a volunteer for UNICEF and for Church Women United. She's a Greater Cincinnatian who works with women from all over to make Pleasant Ridge and the rest of the world a better place. What a good job.
Yes, another good citizen.
Yeah.
All week, last 2 weeks, we've been covering the Olympics.
3 weeks almost.
Yes. Ken's now going to talk about a sport. I'll be honest, I use a snorkel in a bathtub, so it's not a...
glass of water bothers you, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a sport I relate to much, but I'm going to be interested in hearing about it. Ken?
What a scary thought that is, too. Back in the lush, yet tastefully decorated News 5 Olympic condo, and the name of the game tonight is synchronized swimming. And when you're dealing with that game, you got to start with Tracy Ruiz Conforto. Now, back in 1964, she was just Tracy Ruiz, but now she's married and back for another run at the gold medal. But she's got some competition. Canada's Carolyn Waldo is the leader right now in the chase for the gold. Now, to help us know what we got to look for tonight, please say hello to Ginny Jazantek. Hello,
Hi.
Ginny.
Hi.
Ginny is with the Synchrogators here in town, but more importantly, or just as important, she was a judge at the World Games last year, and you're telling me that Tracy Ruiz has got her work cut out for her now.
She really does. I think she's going to have to come from behind. Carolyn's ahead in the compulsories, and Carolyn's a great technician, but Tracy has the charisma, the strength, and the power, but she's really going to have to work hard tonight to beat Carolyn.
That's in what's referred to as the routine, where they go through the actual...
Right.
You know, a lot of people say to me, synchronized swimming seems more like a show than a sport, yet I know, and you know, that there's a tremendous amount of training that has to go in just from a physical fitness, cardiovascular, muscle development.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, it does require a great deal of strength and power. My own swimmers here in Cincinnati do aerobic training. They do a lot of swimming just like a racing swimmer does. They have to egg beat or as good as a water polo player, and they have to have splits as great as a gymnast. So it's a very difficult sport, and you're upside down underwater a long time while you're doing it.
Got to hold your breath too. I would suggest anybody that has any doubts is just watch tonight and then go out like tomorrow to the wire someplace and try and do it. You'll last about 30 seconds, won't you?
About that long.
Yeah.
And she's dazzling. She's going to do a performance tonight that we will all remember.
Tracy Ruiz Conforto.
Yeah.
We also have a set of twins who in the pairs competition could be aces, could be the gold stuff, huh?
They could be. Now, Carolyn will team up with another girl from Canada, and
Right.
again, they're going to be great technicians, and they're very good. I wouldn't take that away from them. But Karen and Sarah, being twins, do some of the most phenomenal moves and synchronize so perfectly multiple spins that it's going to take your breath away.
Karen and Sarah Josephson are the twins.
Right.
Well, listen, they can have the substance. We'll take the style. Style beats substance any day of the week, right?
We're going to fight hard tonight.
Okay. 7:30 tonight's when our coverage begins, and the highlight will be the synchronized swimming. And Ginny, thank you very much, and best of luck
Thank you.
to the Synchrogators.
Thanks a lot.
I'll be back at 6 o'clock with more sports. Let's go back to Jerry and Norma.
That does sound interesting. Yeah.
It'll be nice to watch. It's like ballet in water. It's really pretty.
Yeah, but you can't breathe. They're underwater.
Oh, I'll talk to you about it. Still ahead, a piece of the White House comes home to Three Rivers. Stay with us. The students at Three Rivers Middle School have reason to cheer tonight. Their school is now recognized nationally for its excellence in education. The school was chosen by the Department of Education as one of only 287 in the country to receive this award. The students looked on as their principal received a plaque from Washington, D.C. to honor the school's achievement. Three Rivers School was selected for its quality education, student achievement, and school community relations. Our congratulations.
This is News 5 at 6 with Jerry Springer, Norma Rashid, Pat Barry's weather, Ken Brew with sports, and Northern Kentucky Bureau Chief Marty Peratt.
Good evening. America's spirit is soaring tonight, right along with the Space Shuttle Discovery. It's all because of the wondrous liftoff just over 6 hours ago that took our space program from pain to glory. Here's how that moment got everything back on track.
3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff! Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
We all watched as the Space Shuttle Discovery lifted off this morning, putting America finally back into space. But we had to wait a while for this to happen. The astronauts got on the spacecraft okay, but weather conditions weren't cooperating, so the shuttle sat on its launch pad waiting for the word to go. And it finally came.
We'll be picking up the countdown clock at 11:28 at the T-minus 9-minute point, which would give us a liftoff time at 11:37 Eastern Daylight Time this morning.
And then it was only a matter of time before the shuttle took off and faced a big test.
Discovery, go at throttle up. Roger, go.
Discovery given a go at throttle up. 3 engines at 104%. Velocity 3,200 feet per second. Altitude 10.8 nautical miles. Downrange distance 8 nautical miles.
We've passed a crucial test here, gentlemen. Go to throttle up was the last command that we heard, of course, on Challenger.
Discovery passed the test, and America is back in space. As you know, this is the first manned American space flight since the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded shortly after takeoff in January of 1986.
The memory of that fateful day is still fresh in our minds. Millions watched helplessly as the Challenger exploded. Among those watching were some grade school kids in Addiston. We talked to them about the tragedy back then. Today, News 5's Judy Alsobrooks revisited that class and found them nervous, but today's launch healed the wounds.
Like other kids across the country, the Challenger tragedy 2 years ago left these Meredith Hitchens elementary school students absolutely stunned. Today, we found some of those same kids, this time at Three Rivers Middle School, watching and hoping that the 1986 Challenger tragedy wouldn't happen again.
Well, I hope it's a success and that they check their equipment more thoroughly this time.
This time when it goes off, I hope that nobody gets hurt and that it's a success.
After several liftoff delays, the pressure began mounting for the kids, but soon the engines were fired up.
4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! I wasn't sure whether it was okay or whether it wasn't okay, but I'm glad it made it.
I was scared, kind of scared, because I didn't know what it would do, like whether it would blow up or not.
I was scared because the last time I saw the shuttle go up, it was at that same angle. When I saw it at that same angle, I just remembered what I saw a lot of times on the news. My stomach started turning, and I didn't know what was going to happen.
For the kids here at Three Rivers Middle School, today's successful liftoff was like the final chapter of what started out as a tragic tale. But in another sense, it's like the beginning of a new story as America returns to space. Judy Alsobrooks, News 5.
Now, as far as those kids are concerned, America's space program is now back on its feet.
Now, one man who has a powerful perspective on this mission is Utah Senator Jake Garn, who went up in the same shuttle, Discovery, for 7 days back in 1985. Senator Garn joins us now live via satellite from Washington. Senator, you're kind to be with us. You've been there before. Describe the moment from T-5 to the first minute or two of flight. Fear, exhilaration, what's it like?
Incredible excitement, and I felt it again today as I watched the countdown go, and having been in that same orbiter 3 years ago, I could literally feel the vibrations when the main engine started and feel that initial lurch when the solid rocket boosters go. Know exactly how they were yelling inside and the excitement they were feeling, and in 8 minutes they'd be in orbit traveling 18,000 miles an hour around the Earth. Just incredible that we're back in space in such a flawless launch, delayed only by Mother Nature, but everything worked perfectly. I'm so proud of our country, so proud of my fellow astronauts, and I haven't been this high for 3.5 years when I launched on Discovery myself.
Okay, well, obviously this is a great moment of pride, and you've experienced it perhaps more than most people have. But you mentioned it's a great moment for our country. The fact is we still are behind the Russians in terms of space. Why is that?
Well, we're behind the Russians in terms of hours in space and things in space, but our technology is still superior. The spin-offs that we have derived in computer technology, in medical technology, pacemakers, implantable insulin pumps, the list goes on and on. We're still ahead of the Russians in space in that area, and we're going to stay ahead of the Russians. We've got better engineers and better scientists and better capabilities, and that's why I'm so proud of our country.
Okay, and a quick sum up then, our space program is all systems go?
It's all systems go. The only limiting factor is the Congress of the United States. We need money for that space station. That's the next step. And the space station orbiting the Earth will produce scientific benefits beyond our wildest imagination.
Senator, thank you very much for being with us. That is Senator Jake Garn from Utah, a man who knows whereof he speaks.
Things are continuing to go well for the Space Shuttle Discovery and its crew right now. After this successful launch this morning, the shuttle is orbiting 184 miles above the Earth, and Mission Control is saying the spacecraft is doing well. Now, if you're interested in hearing the latest info on the shuttle yourself, you can call the NASA Shuttle hotline at 1-900-909-NASA. Now, the call will cost you $2 for the first minute and 45 cents for each minute after that.
Great day.
Yeah.
Well, up next on News 5, they're solving some mysteries.
The mighty Ohio is surrendering a few of her long-submerged mysteries tonight. News 5's Dave Robinson tells us what's being pulled up raises more questions about what all is in the river.
She gives up her secrets grudgingly, does this river. It's almost like her way to pay us back for using her as our trash can.
You have an apprehensive feeling because you can't see a whole lot. Like you can't see what you're coming up on. Then and there's places here where all of a sudden you'll go down very deep and then everything turns black on you.
Visibility is good for the river in this area today. It's running anywhere from a foot to 3 foot depending on where you're at.
What these divers are finding down here is everything from a large soup spoon to cars, and they're pulling all this junk out of here so they can clear this space for the tall stacked ships.
So far, this house cleaning has yielded 2 cars. One, which has been there since 1980, was home to at least 1 catfish and countless crawdads.
We located 7 cars so far yesterday and today, and some are stolen, some aren't reported stolen. The 2 that we just got out, so we don't have anything on file in those cars, so I really don't know why they're in there.
Anytime you unravel mysteries, the curious stop by, like the man whose 1972 Cutlass was stolen 8 years ago. He talked, but wouldn't show his face.
You know, I heard they were dredging up a lot of cars. I said, wow, maybe they'll pull mine up, you know, come down there and see.
It's not going to do you any good at this point, though.
Yeah, I know. It'd just be interesting, man. It's curiosity.
We don't think his car was found, but we don't know. Given time, these mysteries can be solved, but for now, all we can tell you is today's haul from the depths, 2 badly rusted cars and a steel girder. Dave Robinson, News 5.
The operation continues tomorrow. When it's done, the channel along the public landing will be cleared of debris so the tall stacks boats can dock there.
Incidentally, tests run on game fish in the Ohio have turned up higher levels of toxic chemicals. The levels of PCBs and chloridane were up in fish tested, including catfish. Now, both chemicals can cause cancer. However, authorities say a person would have to eat tainted Ohio river fish every day for years for it to really be a health problem. Some workers at the Fernald uranium processing plant can breathe a little easier tonight. They'll make that a lot easier. Follow-up tests on 5 employees suspected of plutonium contamination have proven negative. News 5 spoke with some of the workers earlier this month. They were worried about getting cancer. Well, test results on another group of workers are not yet available.
Up next.
Another bit of Cincinnati history is being remembered this bicentennial year. A plaque marking the Cincinnati Master Plan of 1925 was unveiled at City Hall. That was the first zoning and development plan adopted by a major city, and it projected what the Queen City would look like all the way to the year 2100.
And speaking of the future, we just got an update on the shuttle. They launched the satellite perfectly, so everything's going just
great news.
Great with the shuttle.
And there were some delays with weather-related delays.
It was weather-related delays, but it wasn't on the surface. It was upper atmosphere where they were worried that something would be going wrong once the shuttle got up. You know, just a little bit, it's up 30, 40 miles, so they have to make sure the weather's all right, but it's A-okay. We have a little problem trying to figure out what the weekend weather's going to be like. Remember 2 weekends ago we had a problem with Gilbert, not really knowing where it was going to go. Last weekend was no problem. We knew Saturday was going to be miserable. This weekend, another problem because what we thought was going to happen isn't happening. It's slowing down, some big problems. Let's go outside. We'll take a look and show you what's happening right now. For us, it looks like this. This is Roger Lang of Mount Carmel. He's playing with his radio-controlled boat. You see it there in the water? And that's at Mirror Lake in Eden Park. That is a whole lot of fun to do. I got some of those radio-controlled cars, but not a boat yet. But I'll have one by the weekend, probably. Here's what's going on right now. Our temperature high today at 78 degrees. Our record was 99 set back in 1953. Our low 51, the record was 33 set back in 1962. We had no rain today whatsoever. Let's get into it, show you what we're talking about. Our temperature right now, 72 degrees. Our humidity at 69%, and our winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour. Satellite picture, a few clouds in and around the tri-state. You see them here. Some rain clouds happening right now. Most of those rain clouds, however, are producing really small showers. Let's go to live radar. A couple things showing up on our radar, Cincinnati radar, just north of Madison, Indiana. Then out in the southern part of Indiana, some problems there. But basically all this is just ground clutter. I expect to see some scattered showers in our area tonight. Here is what's going on. You see the warm area and the moist area. That is what's over us right now. And we do have an approaching cold front, and that was moving towards us. However, tomorrow it's not going to get that close. We will have some scattered showers, though, it looks like. Here's the forecast then for tonight. It looks like this. With it should be cloudy with scattered showers, a low temperature at 60 degrees. Then for tomorrow, it looks like this. Cloudy, scattered showers, and a high at 78. Here's that extended forecast over the next couple of days. The rain tomorrow, clouds on Saturday, then it looks like we'll get the clearing on Sunday afternoon. Here is what I expect temperature-wise. 74 on normal highs, 78 tomorrow, 76 on Saturday, and 66 on Sunday. It looks like a cool part of next week, too. Going to feel like fall. Tonight, I think the showers are going to stay out of the way, and the Coors All-Stars are going to play, of course. We're going to be playing at Waterworks Park in Fairfield at 7:30. Tri-County Toyota. Here's how to get there. It's right off of 275. You take the 127 exit, go north, turn left on Nils, and right on Grow Lane. And, or is that road? And just stop by Waterworks Park. Everybody in that area knows where it is.
And if you don't, just follow the
me.
path.
Follow the little white Jeep up there, and you'll be able to get behind it. Chris Sabin will be
go that
tonight.
fast, follow that Jeep.
Yeah.
You can stay with the Jeep. Good luck.
You can find a Jeep first, then stay with it. Well, Reds, let's talk about something that's moving fast.
In this year of seconds, we may be second for the Cy Young Award.
Yes, I think it's over, to be real honest. I think it's history. I hate to say it, breaks my tender heart to think about it, but there will be no Cy Young in town this year. I'm not even sure Danny Jackson lost the thing, but what happened last night may have ended any chance. First in San Francisco, Jackson on the mound, looking for his 24th win of the year, but in San Francisco, where there's a Will, there's a Clark. Will Clark, 3-run homer, ends it, 6-1, Reds lose. But more important to the race was what Orel Hershiser did last night in San Diego. He broke a Major League record that has stood for 20 years, 59 innings of scoreless baseball. That's 177 straight outs without allowing a run. The guy who held the record, Don Drysdale in San Diego, to watch Orel Hershiser do it. Now, over in Seoul, the games go on, and 6 of our boxers have now qualified for a shot at the gold medal. And while you slept last night, the big noise in the women's 200 meters, Florence Griffith Joyner just blew by the rest of the field and won the event in world record time, 21.34 seconds. She won the 100 meters and tomorrow has a shot at a 3rd gold medal in a relay event. Quick check of the medal count. Soviet Union, 95 overall and 39 gold. The list really hasn't changed since the start of the games. Then East Germany, USA, 23 gold, 61 total, and then West Germany. On to high school football. Now, if you live on the east side of town, you know, it's Anderson against Turpin all week long. I mean, we had girls soccer and then boys soccer, and Friday night it's football. And do our Tom Brenneman and Lonesome George Vogel know all about it? Tonight they tee up the big showdown by going head to head.
Well, George, considering I'm in the midst of a 2-game losing streak, I can't think of a place I'd rather be than my old alma mater, Anderson High. They are going to put a hurting on Turpin this weekend.
Hey, Brenneman.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hall. How are you?
Don't you still owe me a paper?
I thought I turned it in.
You didn't turn it in, and I've got a notion just to give you a detention for that.
Well, I'm here to pick Anderson to win this week.
Well, in that case, that's all right.
Thanks. Boy, some things never change.
Things are looking up big time in Redskin country this year. Second-year head man Vince Suriano has his program rolling. Turpin is dead meat.
This means everything. This means the season. If you beat Turpin and you lose the rest of your games, it doesn't matter.
You know, George, I'm a little disappointed. I come out here to my alma mater and nobody even knows who I am anymore. It's one of those... Oh, my God. Hi, gals.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to do a head-to-head. Of course, I'm picking Anderson to win, and George Vogel is picking Turpin to win.
Ew! Lonesome George Vogel! He doesn't know anything!
Oh, boy, I don't know how you brainwash those girls, Brenneman, but it certainly wasn't with charm. Let me give the ladies a little history lesson with my friends Chris and Jeff. This year in head-to-head, my record is 3 wins and 1 loss. Now, after this game, my record is going to be 4 wins and 1 loss. And you can take that to the bank.
I know Turpin has yet to win in '88, but against Anderson, the Spartans have won 9 of 12. And talk of Anderson has the blood boiling.
Well, Monday was great. I mean, we were knocking everybody down. There's
fights were breaking out. It was unusual.
And Tommy, since this is old home week for you, I went through some archives and came up with your senior picture. Boy, take a look at that, guys.
Ooh, what's that?
It is pretty brutal. Maybe you should give it to your boys from Anderson Friday night. Probably help them out. For the man on the picture, I'm George Vogel going head-to-head.
And we will do a poster on that this week. Hey, here's the problem for the Bengals. How are they going to deal with those two fast guys who can catch any pass thrown at them and the Raiders' new top gun, quarterback Jay Schrader? They got to deal with it Sunday. Now, you know, last week against Cleveland, they had pretty good success against Mike Pagel, but Schrader's a different kettle of fish. He led the Raiders to an overtime win Monday night.
Oh, yeah, we feel like he's a really good quarterback. When he was with the Redskins, he was very successful. It did take him a half to get on track. I don't think that it'll make a difference. We're going to still go out and play just as hard as we can, regardless of who they have in there.
Yeah, you can see the game Sunday here on Channel 5. And are you ready for pro basketball? How about basketball at $18 a ticket? It may be a little steep, but Pro Hoops is coming to Cincinnati for one night and one night only, and it's coming up on the 27th of October. Big news conference today at the Riverfront Coliseum. Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, and the Indiana Pacers in town for an exhibition game. Herb Williams of the Pacers and the former OSU star was on hand to promote the game. The Bulls will bring the #1 player in the game, Michael Jordan, at $18 a pop. That's the top ticket, $18 a pop.
That is, it's worth it. And it was also worth it seeing Tom Brenneman.
It's
back when he was his sister.
Back when he was a what?
His sister.
Oh, okay.
None of us would like our high school pictures here. Let's all say that. Jerry's commentary is next. We'll be right back.
I want to pop the popcorn early. Basketball on tap tonight in our Olympic coverage. The USSR goes for the gold. But the men's volleyball team is still in the hunt. We'll see some of that tonight, as well as synchronized swimming and a little bit of canoeing. Our coverage begins tonight at 7:30 right here on Channel 5.